studio tonight is Meredith Rinna of the Toledo Correctional Institution, and we said earlier in the newscast we're celebrating 10 years of existence in Toledo. Now, not all people wanted the prison there. Tell us about how things have changed over the 10 years.
Wow, we are actually super excited to be celebrating our 10-year anniversary. It is unbelievable to us that we've hit 10 years. But you're absolutely right. In the very beginning, when our state representative at the time, Janine Perry and Edna Brown, and then Mayor Cardi Finkbeiner came around, they had a lot of opposition in the North End Toledo neighborhood of wanting to have an actual prison there. So the three of them, including our first warden, Warden Calicante, went door to door through the neighborhood, hit the pavement, and kind of campaigned to bring our institution to the North End of Toledo.
One thing you can argue that was a good outcome of putting the prison there is it took an old brownfield, old polluted industrial land, and turned it into something useful.
Exactly, exactly. It was an old waste land, what we call an unsanctioned landfill, and we were able to take that plot of land, turn it into something successful for that North End community. In fact, raise property values for that community.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow. And that's probably one of the biggest fears of people, was that their properties would be worth less. How is the prison a good community member in North Toledo?
Well, we'd like to think we're a very good neighbor. We have worked very hard with that North End community to provide community service. We go out and there's a local church that's right across catty corner from us. We take care of the grounds on that church. We've actually refurbished some bikes that the Sheriff's Department has given us. Last year we held our first annual bike giveaway for the community members. We refurbished the bikes, gave them back to the community. So we'd like to think that we have been very good neighbors. We also put up a fence that has a mesh screen to try to block the view into our recreation yard for the community members that live there, try to give them some privacy as well.
Give us an idea of some of the numbers. How many inmates do you have on a regular basis, and how many people have employment at the facility?
Well, our average population for July has been 1,156 offenders, and then we employ 360 employees. That's a combination of what we call administrative staff, like myself, and then security staff. Of the 360, we have 246 security staff.
Okay, and those are pretty good paying jobs, too, which Toledo definitely needs. What kind of rehabilitation is done before people are let back out into the community?
Well, we operate under a principle called community reentry, and reentry actually starts from the minute an offender comes into the prison system from day one and follows that offender all the way through until they're actually released, whether that's 6 months from now, whether that's 30 years from now. Each offender is assessed. We develop a type of what you would almost consider a treatment plan on what does this offender need in order to be successful when he leaves prison. So that might be anything from mental health treatment to recovery services treatment, job skills, vocational skills, and then while he's incarcerated, it's a voluntary program. We cannot force our offenders to go through it, but we give them different types of programming needs that they may have so that when they walk out of our doors into our community, they don't go back to the same situation they were in when they came into our prisons.
Which is what we all hope for.
Right.
Thank you so much for educating us about what you do at the Toledo Correctional Institution, and that is PIO and Warden Assistant Meredith Rinna. That is tonight's Talkback.